we're live.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Nerd On Update.
We did it.
Where we talk about all of our nerdy news that we're really excited about from the previous week. And that's the first half of our show. The second half of the show is we answer questions from you all, the peepos.
The people.
We don't introduce ourselves on the show. If you want to hear who we are specifically, go to Nerd on the Podcast. That is our main show, our topical weekly show that comes out every Thursday. But we're going to get into the news right now, and Tom's going to start.
I knew it like 3 weeks in a row. Okay, you know what it is. I'm the DC boy, so I'm bringing you that DC comic books, movie news. But first, I want to preface this way. This is how I'm going to bring this
away,
up.
Tom.
The reason why I bring this up and the way I'm going to do this because everyone listening, this is, as Josh would say, behind the veil, would say it this way. Corey, or at least I was like, hey, everyone, stick to one topic. And then Corey became like the real enforcer of like, everyone does one topic. And then lately, we've been kind of doing like a little smattering of 2 topics and 3 or whatever. So first thing I'm going to say is this. This week, the week that just passed, we're recording the day of the recording, started out with pain. A lot of pain. This is just the Will Smith meme, Pain.
Okay, yeah.
Daft Punk split.
Oh,
after
yeah.
28 years. And for everyone listening, if you are not familiar with Daft Punk, you've definitely heard their music somewhere. I think the big hits are like the composer for Tron Legacy, Get Lucky with Pharrell. I feel like Coming with The Weeknd, things like that. But if you're like an OG, you might have heard it in your childhood because your parents loved you and they played like Around the World or, other things like that. Digital Love for me is a big one, but Daft Punk.
Stronger,
Kanye, the remix and all that. So that's where a lot of people got it first.
the original. Their breakup makes me sadder, faster. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Wow.
So, yeah, Daft Punk was if it's not important to you, that's fine. But it's just it's a little heartbreaking that after 28 years,
It's a life event.
Yeah, a band that was pretty big and pretty popular in France. I say France because I have French friends.
France.
2021 was too much, and they were like, you know what, we're done. And I was like, oh, okay. But it doesn't mean that they're gone. You could always continue listening to their music, and I challenge and encourage everyone to do that because it is wonderful. That being said, so that was the start of my week, and then more pain. More pain.
You're really starting us off good here.
So this
Tom welcomes
is
the
where
pain.
this is where the DC boy starts, right? On Thursday or Wednesday, I believe it was maybe Thursday, Warner Brothers had announced or dropped some information. It wasn't them officially making a statement, but the first one to hit the news was Deadline. And Deadline put out an article saying Ta-Nehisi Coates, if you do not know who Ta-Nehisi Coates is, he is a phenomenal writer who has worked on many books and writings about kind of civil liberties in America. And it's really important and big stuff and stuff that like I wish I had read more of, but also had done work in Black Panther and Captain America, which were later influenced in those MCU films. So to say that this person isn't a renowned writer is a lie, disingenuous, and probably false. But anyways, or lazy. Ta-Nehisi Coates will be writing a new Superman film. And J.J. Abrams will be producing. And a while ago on an update, I had mentioned how the $500,000 deal for Bad Robot to have first look rights with Warner Brothers was going to kind of lead into something like this. And this isn't surprising if you had been keeping up with the DC news. So for me, it was more of like a matter of time. And when the needle would finally drop was kind of like, But like we knew that J.J. Abrams was going to come in and be like, I want to do this. I want to do that. He's going to be doing Dr. Seuss animated, universe. He's going to be trying to do Justice League Dark for HBO Max, and he's had an idea to do Superman for years now. His was Superman Flyby, and this was going to be like in 2011. Instead, we got maybe not 2011, maybe it was like earlier than that. But yeah, so he's had an idea for Superman for a while, and with Ta-Nehisi Coates, it hasn't been all but said, but people are. A lot of the DC community, Snyder fan community, have been lamenting the thought that Henry Cavill will no longer be playing Superman. For a lot of people, he is their Superman. If there is a Christian Bale is their Batman, I'm not going to say it like an Iron Man. I'm not going to say it like a Black Panther because those are the first times we saw them. So it's not fair to say it that way.
Yeah.
And I'm there for you. I see it. I'm in the trenches of a lot of the fandom things, and I get it. But the idea that Ta-Nehisi Coates and J.J. Abrams are going to be doing something with the name Superman instead of leaving it on the table to potentially tell the Val Zod story. And if you're not familiar with Val Zod, he is Black Superman, and not the drink and not, a cool thing, but it was in comic books. Earth 2, and actually the adopted brother of Kal-El. And his suit is more blue and silver instead of blue and red. And it's
relation to General Zod?
No, I don't believe so.
Just a coincidence.
Just a coincidence. Yeah. So Earth 2, they play by different rules. So it's a completely different universe. But that being said, it's, if you're a fan of comic books and superhero films, then it's wonderful. But you could be excited for it, and you could still be sad that Warner Brothers is just kind of dumping Zack Snyder and Henry Cavill in that sense at the same time. It's okay to have both feelings.
Sure.
And all I'll pretty much leave it with and say is that, like, Michael B. Jordan has been trying to make this happen for a long time. A lot of people were speculating that he was going to be taking over Henry Cavill's role, but Jim Lee has been talking about embracing the multiverse. And so if you still want to see Henry Cavill as Superman, we still have him as Superman. It's going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And so when you watch that film, that is your Superman. You can totally watch it and be fine with it. And if you want to see more Henry Cavill, you have to, make it known, talk about it on social media, make it a thing. Not saying try to gatekeep or browbeat anybody, but support the show, watch it, buy the merch, buy the physical copy, and then want potentially a life on HBO Max, because HBO Max is a different part of Warner Media, and Warner Brothers is going to go, as they're doing with Matt Reeves' Batman. The multiverse is a thing. So wherever it goes, it goes. And seeing more different stories being told is going to be cool. Getting to have people have opportunities to tell different stories and have jobs is wonderful. And I'll say it this way, and I told Corey about this in the Digital Green Room. Hating Tom Holland as Spider-Man doesn't bring Tobey Maguire back. Doesn't bring
Do they hate
Andrew
Tom
Garfield.
Holland as Spider-Man?
People will choose who their Spider-Man is, and I'm someone that loves the Tobey Maguire one, and there's people who are like,
one who loves the Andrew Garfield one.
But it doesn't mean we have to hate on Tom Holland. And if anything, hopefully it'll give them confidence to bring them all back. And that being said, not saying that everything's all bright and roses, but hating a new thing doesn't bring your old thing back.
Yeah.
So take it in positivity and take it with hey, vote with your dollars.
Unless it was the Snyder Cut.
What?
Hating the Justice League did bring the old thing back.
Yeah, I'd like to think that a lot of it was kind of directed with a lot of hopefully love. For
No, I know. I'm
vision.
just applying the equation.
Yeah. It's an interesting time. So pain this whole week. But it's how do we go forward from it? How do we turn this to a positive?
Yeah.
So pass the mic. Who's next?
Pick.
Caitlin.
Hi.
Hello.
So I have two pieces of news this week. One, just because I spend a lot of time on Twitter, I was surprised to see that they unveiled they're going to be doing super following. There's going to be a feature called Super Follow. It's how they're going to monetize Twitter. This was unveiled.
Super Follow Nerd On now, or whenever. Help us out.
But
Only
that was
fleets.
unveiled at a virtual event held for the investors this past week. And of course went out to everyone pretty much immediately after. There's no information of when that's going to happen. It said sometime this year, and we don't know what that pricing structure is going to look like. But the BBC wrote about it, and whatever poll they did said 85% people were not interested in it. And Twitter is also trying to utilize a live audio discussion service, which is proving really popular on Clubhouse, which is audio-only social network that's also springing up, another form of social media to engage in. Oh boy. But yeah, so no information on what that's going to cost, how that's going to work. But Twitter only got its first annual profit in 2018, and it's been around since 2006. So, of course, they need to figure out ways to stay afloat because they're not making a lot of money. So that was one thing that interested me because I'm like, I liked Twitter if I weed out all of the bad parts, and now you're adding this weird money thing. So I don't know how I feel about you right now. And then the other thing is that there is a new Rugrats show. It's going to be aided. It's going to be part of the Paramount Plus streaming service. Another streaming service. Yeah. Everyone's so excited. So yeah, this is right. And obviously there's like a lot of questions that come into play because this show was from 1991 to 2004, and then they had the All Grown Up series, which was All Grown Up, which was the Rugrats babies being like teenagers. So why are we bringing them back to be babies again?
Well, originally the All Grown Up was a special, and it turned out that they were dreaming it the whole time. So I wonder if they'll just go with that timeline.
But they were babies for so long. I mean, yes, there's like.
I mean, Stewie's been a baby for 20 seasons.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Bart Simpson's been
Maggie
10 for. Yeah, Maggie's been a baby for 25 years, 30 years.
Yeah, well, it's just strange to see something that like had a definitive end point come back after what is that, like 15 years? So it's like Nickelodeon
people are living in that.
Viewers currently don't know what that is. They have no ties to that show at all. So I feel like it's sort of a gamble that it's like, hope you guys like nostalgia for a time period you weren't alive for, kids.
Rocket Man of Life came back and it did really well.
I'm going to say it this way because I have no information at all. But Nickelodeon is definitely sitting in an ocean and not doing anything with its properties.
True.
So that's definitely why they need to do it. The House of Mouse doesn't have this problem where, for me, there's a big vacuum because they're not using Donald and Mickey and stuff like that other than Kingdom Hearts games, which is not the Disney fandom technically. But Nickelodeon doesn't have a Marvel. It doesn't have
Rugrats
a Star Wars, but I know we're getting to later
massively popular for them. Like I remember going to theme parks.
They're using their OG cast, right?
Huh?
Are they getting back together with the OG cast?
Yes, they are. The original cast is returning for the show. And the animation style is weird, but in a way that really fits it, I think.
It's like CG, right? Like
yeah.
So of hand drawn.
But the art style looks like claymation. Yeah,
like those Puffs commercials that like the kid with the red nose. Like it looks like those type of that type of animation.
Got it.
It's interesting because Rugrats in particular, as a case study, like we haven't seen it on air for such a long time. Where Pokemon, they did a remake of Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back in the CGI animation style. And I think it was a little jarring because Pokemon has never stopped.
Ever.
And so it was like, but why would you do this? Well, Rugrats, you get a chance to get a new audience and you're not really worrying about the baked in audience anymore.
True.
Either way, I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see Reptar come back.
I'm here for it.
Personally, I'm excited about it. I'm just wondering, I'm skeptical of what the reception's going to be just because it's been such a long time. And I'm like, but why? But I'm not like upset about it.
It's been Nickelodeon's MO recently because they also did a few years back. They did a movie, Hey Arnold movie, and so I think they've been testing the water with this kind of stuff with one-offs. So I'm interested to see, if their kind of research paid off and we're like, yeah, we could sustain a show. What else could they bring back?
Good point.
Yeah, and if it's cheap.
Yeah,
very true.
Speaking of which, I'll go next because we're kind of on the same subject. Viacom CBS, the parent company of Nickelodeon, announced this week the creation of a new studio called Avatar Studios.
I want to pause real quick. I know Josh creamed his pants when he saw this news, and thanks to this show, you had that reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can talk now, right?
Yes.
No, absolutely not. Go ahead.
Because I was going to say, as a new fan...
They call it Cora Studios. He would have died.
Yeah. As a new fan, I only saw Avatar, when did we do that? October?
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
And so I'm like a tourist fan.
Wow.
I just found it, and loved Avatar and then moved on to Korra and loved it. So, I mean, what's exciting is that the goal is to create original content spanning the animated series and movies. And the biggest part about this that is amazing is that the original creators, Michael DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, are joining as co-chief creative officers, which is pretty amazing, pretty awesome. It's cool to see something that, because since seeing it, I've had conversations with people that are big fans, and it's amazing to see kind of the polarity of viewpoints. People always love them, no matter what. They either love Avatar or Korra, in my experience, but they're like precious to them. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
we all saw what happened when we tried to make a live action movie out of them. So we're a bit protective as a fan base.
I still stand on that podium of, if that live action film had not come out, then I think Avatar would be more popular than Harry Potter. But that being said, one of the favorite things I saw on the internet was when that announced, everyone's like, so is the Netflix show like, what's the point? I was like, kind of.
Ooh.
So it'll be interesting.
And I also want to make a huge shout out to Todd McFarlane. He ran a Kickstarter last year for a remaster of the original Spawn figure. And I just want to do a shout out because he ran his campaign so well and was always so upfront with everybody, because like he was very transparent about everything that went on, and everybody was understanding, like reading the comments with each update. I mean, we're in a pandemic. You can't control what happens with shipping and everything, but he was just huge shout out to him because he had some updates this week that he was like, I'm sorry. All of these things are stuck in customs and I'm going to make it up to you guys. And he's just really cool dude. I got mine yesterday. It's pretty hot and sexy.
Go watch our Instagram.
Yeah, our Instagram, I did a little unboxing of it. But yeah, I grow more and more respect for him throughout the Kickstarter, the Todd Father. So yeah, that's my news. Corey?
Yeah, I got some news. Knights of the Old Republic.
Jesus.
Oh my God, again.
Totally kidding. Totally kidding.
The title is not a...
No, first bit I have is just some titles, not a whole lot of information yet. Magic the Gathering announced, Wizards of the Coast rather, announced a new series for Magic the Gathering called Universes Beyond. Recently they had announced a Dungeons and Dragons crossover, but that's actually going to be part of the standard set. The Universes Beyond is not standard. It'll be more for Commander and other legacy type of play. But the two things they're going to focus on first in this Universe Beyond, which is an entire crossover series, is going to be Warhammer 40K and Lord of the Rings. So we're getting two sets with two amazingly different but amazingly popular themes. Personally, mixed opinions on it, to be honest with you. The thing about Magic the Gathering I always loved was its own setting. It had its own characters, planewalkers, novels. And now you're coming up to the board being like, I play Samwise Gamgee. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. So we'll see. I think it's a cool
They don't change
idea.
the names?
No, they've done a few. They've done some secret layer drops with like Walking Dead characters that caused a lot of controversy because these are exclusive characters that cost upwards of like $70 per card, but are included in legal play. So now you're forcing your players, if they want to be competitive in like Commander and stuff like that, to shell out these exclusive things. They're not accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of baggage going along with that. We'll see. I think it's a cool concept. But we will see. My other news, which is quick, Pokemon everywhere.
It's
Pokemon everywhere. Big news for Pokemon. The first one is the Pokemon Legends. Well, everywhere. Look at all this.
Is this
Legends
Pokemon?
of Arceus. Arceus? Yes.
Arceus,
Yeah, and it's an open world RPG that we've been dreaming about for, as Tom said, 10 years. I think it's 15 years. Easy. Ever since the GameCube came out, I would say, like Pokemon Stadium.
Well, I think, that's what I'm saying. Like the first 3D games came out, and that wasn't like immediately after Red and Blue.
Yeah.
25 years. It's only been 25 years, guys.
Yeah, it's only been 25 years. It's an open world. It's a prequel to every single Pokemon game that's ever happened.
In the Sinnoh.
Yeah, in the Sinnoh area, you're getting these like steampunk wooden proto balls, they're called, to catch Pokemon, and you're literally out there in the grass sneaking up on Pokemon to toss and catch. So I think that'll be fun. And then the one I'm very excited for as well is we're getting a remake of Diamond and Pearl called Brilliant Diamond and
Shining.
Shiny? Is it Shining? Shining Pearl. Thank you. Which I was in the Digital Green Room talking about how that's probably, I mean, obviously Red and Blue paved the way, but man, I think if I still have my Pearl game somewhere, there's like 400, 500 plus hours on that little game. So I'm going to be getting that day one. I'm a Pearl guy all day. I love me that Palkia, but to each his own. It looks really cool.
I want to add one quick thing about Pokemon Arceus, and I made it apparent on social media.
Yeah.
Y'all mad that GIF is pronounced GIF. I'm still mad that Arceus isn't Arceus.
I can see it.
Yeah.
But I will say that game I think is going to live and die by it's how well you move in the area, the Pokemon catchability, and then the battle system. If one of those things are not good,
well, it looks like it's still turn-based battles, which is good.
That's fine, but
Keep
I'm like
that.
the
Keep
animation and like if it doesn't look great, it's going to be really boring and stale.
Yeah. And when it showed in the video, it showed a Pokemon using what looked like tackle, and they're actually hitting each other now, which is like, we haven't really seen that yet.
The battle animation, if the battle animation is just going to be really boring, that's what a lot of hardcore Pokemon like fans get upset with the newer games, because the battle animations don't get better. When you have games like Pokken Tournament, and you're like, you could do this, you can do it. And so,
but excited for those coming to the Switch. Sign me up for both. But man, Pearl, my heartstrings were plucked when I saw that first zoom in on the old. They zoom in on the original DS, and then it starts up with that like loading. Obviously, I've seen that screen for 500 plus hours, and it was just like, oh my god, it's that's all my news. That's it.
Awesome. The next
Knights of the Old Republic coming at you.
Okay. Nope. Next part of our show, last part of our show, like we said at the top, we answer questions from you, the audience. And if you want to submit questions, you can send them over to our internet email address, questions@nerdon.tv. You can also go to nerdon.tv/questions. You can also join the Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. There are channels within there that you can submit questions. And if you are a member of Nerd On Nation, nerdon.tv/Patreon, you do get what we call a Nerd On Nudge, in which your cameras, your questions are answered first. Your cameras, yep. I am all over the place today. So many tech things. But yeah, you get that Nerd On Nudge where we will answer your questions first. So they can be anything. These questions can be anything. Like, Jeremy M asks, what
Shout out.
would your super move in Injustice 2 be?
I can create some levity or some explanation, clarification if you need me to.
Sure. I've never played this game, so
it's a Mortal Kombat-like game.
It's so good.
And then once your like super bar is finished or whatever, you can do your ultimate move. And typically you build it up by blocking a lot or doing a lot of damage. Examples of
it's kind of like building up a limit break kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a super. It typically takes maybe about a third of your opponent's health bar, so it could pretty much end the game. So the Flash will will punch you super fast, spin you around, and then grab you, and then jump through different times, and then he crashes you through like the pyramids, through a dinosaur, through all underwater, and then finally slaps you back into it, and then once he slaps you back, another Flash comes out and punches him from another timeline.
Oh.
So things like that. Batman
So I would be fighting, and then I would grab your head and transfer. I would make you feel all of my anxiety, depression, ADD all at once. And then
Wow.
that's it.
That'd be a lot.
Batman's is like he'll backflip into his Batmobile as it runs over the opponent, flipping them up, and then he'll shoot them with like grapple gun, bring them down. Another one's like he launches them all the way up and then like hooks you with like the Batwing, and then fires like hell on them. It's wild.
That's a lot.
There's a lot of cool, crazy shit.
Kidding.
So we got Corey's.
Another one in that vein, Corey, would be something like, I would throw my disappointment at you, not my anger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Within the universe of the...
I would grab you and take you through time about all the things I said stuff at parties that makes me stay up at night.
That's your special attack.
Those hurt.
I would take you
But
through
I would make you me in those situations as you said these things at parties and social events that you think of 6 years later, right as you're falling to sleep. Like your brain goes, remember that time you said that fucking stupid thing?
Yeah.
Like, yes, I remember. Thank you.
Remember that tiny detail? Yeah.
So Josh, what was yours?
I'm not completely certain. I feel like I would take on something like Superman's.
So Superman's is an uppercut that launches you into orbit, then flies up and slams you back into the ground. And this is from the chat. So
yeah,
they know.
I mean,
They know
that
what's up.
sounds. Yeah, that sounds legit.
Kaylin, do you have one?
I don't know. Tom's very good at horoscoping for everyone. So what do you think mine would be?
I feel like if Caitlin wanted to be her superhero power, which is Chimera, which is shapeshifter, right? Caitlin would probably turn into a snake and then either go and then wrap themselves up around the person and then go inside their mouth and then so they suffocate and
That's
die.
right.
And then turn into like maybe a mouse that can go into like the small intestine and then transform into her normal self. And then they would explode.
That sounds about accurate, actually. Yeah, thank you.
It's creepy.
That kind
It's
of
a little
matches the
erotic.
violence that is within her soul. Yeah.
So
Jarring,
for me.
cute, horrifying.
Yeah.
It's me.
Because the mouse would be really
Adorable.
cute. You'd be like, oh.
Yes. Thank you, Tom.
For me, I think I would grant the person immortality and then throw them into like a Jigsaw body horror thing. So that
right.
they never die, but it
That's
always hurts.
fair. I think my real one is I would shackle the person and be like, you want to watch me play Knights of the Old Republic?
Nice.
Why? I mean, yeah, that's fair.
And-
that's fair.
And then they got
Because why
Or are you
not?
saying that your streams of Neither the Old Republic is torture?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Watch me
if you see him
painstakely make
stream it,
decisions.
y'all, you know what's up.
That's
know
just my
what's up.
super coming out.
His ultimate
Next
move.
question.
Next question comes from Talon the Dragon. Since Tom is the Dork Knight, who is Spooperman and who is the last? Caitlin is obviously Wondering
Yeah.
Woman.
Well, Josh is
Spooperman.
Yeah, I'm Spooperman.
I'm the last.
Oh yeah, because it would be like the dumb versions, right? So yeah, you're not
The last.
fast. You're just the last. Oh,
Easy.
Done.
Done.
That was quick.
There it is,
Done.
I love it.
guys. We did it.
I would be Martin Man.
Martin Man? Your name's Martin?
Martin Man, not
It's
Martian
just
Man.
Martin Short.
Instead of Martian the Manhunter, I'm just
My name is Martin.
Man.
Hello. That's it.
I'm a man.
That's
What's
my
your power?
powers.
No?
I'm just a man.
I'm 32. That's my superpower.
Can you say my child is about to get hit by a car? Can you say I could get you a coffee?
I
You want
could
me to
call
do
you
that?
911 right now. I don't have
oh
my
my
phone.
God.
Oh, shoot.
That's
Look at this
my-
great rewards
Oh
card.
my God.
Let me go put change in the meter. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Next question comes from Engineered.
Hey.
Who would direct, photograph, and act in your dream film / TV adaptation of a favorite piece of fiction, book, game, etc.?
It's hard.
So
Super hard.
So the thing already exists, Corey. I'm sorry.
the thing already exists. Kurt Russell. Keith
And
David,
also Two Towers
directed by
already
John
exists.
Carpenter. If we had to create our own thing, basically, what would it be, and who would we cast in it? Is that
No,
am I
who would
understanding?
direct, photograph, and act? So casting is part of it, but directing and then DP and all that
Oh
stuff.
a dream
man, that's a
film
great
TV
question.
adaptation.
It is. It is a great question. I can try. to
Okay.
go first. Because it's not like I don't think about this stuff every waking moment of my life. I would say I would like
Oh
me
my
to
God.
direct. I mean, obviously, I would direct. But like, this is like if someone else can't, so I'll do someone else. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to say I want. It's not a dream though. These aren't because I
Then
want my
say
dream.
what it is.
Um,
Yeah.
my dream is to do a 4-series, 4-movie installation, Batman Beyond, and I would direct and I would write, and the DP is going to be. I want.
Who's gonna be the DP? Ooh.
It'd be rough.
I mean, I don't know how I don't do Wally Feister or Wally Pfister. But I mean, I might do Larry Fong. Larry Fong is the director of photography for Batman vs Superman. The thing is, the reason why I'm it's hard for me to pick a director of photography. It's not Roger Deakins or like, someone like, is because Batman Beyond has to have like a high tech reality and has to have a little bit of like a techno punk, hot, like a little Hot Topic-y, a little Spencer-y, things are a little bright, a little almost Joel Schumacher-y in terms of the color palette. And the actor, I don't know one on the top of my head, but I'd want him to be half white, half Asian. Because I'm telling you right now, Terry McGinnis has a red-headed father and a red-headed mother. And him and his brother both have black hair. I'm like, someone should have said something. And for me, like having him be half Asian and then have the mother be the, Asian mother, and then the dad who quote unquote passes away be the white father. I'm like, okay, no one has to be like, why does the both family members have, it's like, well, that's a seed for a future thing, which it does. But I mean, right now, Steve Yeun is like hot pancakes right now. So everyone
Hot
wants him, but
pancakes.
yeah. I would want that. Yeah. I'm not trying to spoil the whole thing, Kogan. On
But
the chat,
some of it.
I'm just said a little bit. Yeah. So that's it. Four. I would like 4. I would like 4
Okay.
movies. Thank you.
Batman
Beyond.
X-Men. Because we gotta get him back in here. We gotta get him back on the screen after the Fox fiasco. But I would want someone who could tell really good social stories, social justice stories, and just social stories. So Ava DuVernay.
That was the
be
first
my
name that
choice
came to my mind.
direct an X-Men movie.
That would be
Cinematographer, director of photography would be Rachel Morrison, who, if you guys don't remember, she's like Ryan Coogler's cinematographer for like Fruitvale, everything, but she also did Dope. She's also the cinematographer on Dope, and a bunch of other stuff. And then what else are we doing? Actors. Go to my Instagram. I have everyone cast. I do. Go to my Instagram, and there's a highlight reel where I cast everyone I wanted, but I'm open to. We also discussed a bunch of other casting choices on here for X-Men once. That was a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, it's got like what? Yeah.
Whenever you're done, I have my director of photography. Just I had to find the name.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. That's that. I want Ava. I want Rachel. And then I want the cast that I put up on my Insta. I want it so bad.
My director of photography is Claudio Miranda. You might be wondering where I got that name from, because I looked up Tron Legacy. And so if someone can capture me that color and that
makes sense.
That look, I'm like, that's how I want to look. Not so like we're in space, but more like, yeah, we're going to the Iceberg Lounge and it's all high tech and it looks cool now.
Yeah.
And it's like the Iceberg Lounge, if you're a fan, you know where that is. So that's the new hip spot for all the kids to go to.
Josh, do you know?
I don't know all the details except for I know the thing that I would want adapted. And I think I have kind of a loose idea of who I think could handle the directing.
Paddington's already made, Josh.
Paddington is, dang it. Okay. Shoot. So my favorite author is Christopher Moore, and I just love his humor. And he's got different series. Like he has a vampire series, but he also has the Dirty Job series, and I think the Dirty Job series would be a really fun group of movies, even if it was just one. And I think
with Mike Rowe,
huh? No. And I think a good director would probably be like Stephen Merchant. I think Stephen Merchant could. I've always thought that Stephen Merchant is hilarious, and his directing, and I'm always a fan of British humor, and I think that Christopher Moore's humor is very in line with that kind of stuff, and so I think Stephen Merchant could handle that, and making sure that it is funny. I don't know, handling the subtle humor that's in there and all that kind of stuff. In terms of like cast, I can't really think right now of my answer for that, but I know the thing that I would want. No, not at all.
God, Corey.
Caitlin?
I would want, I know a version of it already exists, but I actually really do want I Am Legend.
Mega
I
Man.
want I Am Legend. I want Guillermo del Toro to direct.
Oh yeah,
because it's supposed to be horrifying. Like it's supposed to be absolutely horrifying the entire time.
The original Omega Man. Oh yeah, go ahead, Tom.
but also to Caitlin's point, in the whole thesis of the film, Guillermo del Toro cares about his monsters.
Yes, very much.
So it's very important. Very important.
So I feel like that would be great.
Bring Charlton Heston back from the dead and recast him in this movie. He's in the original.
Actually, the person I thought that sprung to mind was actually Michael B. Jordan. Just from what I've seen him do in the last couple of things we've seen that he's in. Like I feel like he would be a good fit for that. I don't know for literally anything else. Those were the only two things that were really solidified for me. That like
Roger Deakins.
Well, for a cinematographer, what kind of look would you want the movie to have? Like
The feel and the look, yeah.
I don't want it to go full like Pan's Labyrinth.
little Lord of the Rings cave sequence.
Kind of, yeah. Like some grit, a little like you can see every freaking texture.
Roger Deakins.
Okay, great. Yeah, just like a lot of hyper focusing on things, since that's kind of the point of the whole story too, is like you're hyper focusing on things in your world and not outside of that.
Well, okay.
What?
I looked up the cinematographer for the Lord of the Rings movie. I was like, well, that's not going to happen because they sadly passed away. And so I was like, well, we can't have that, Caitlin. So Hobbit it is.
No.
30 frames a second it is.
Anyway, that's it for me.
No.
It was 48 frames per second, Tom.
Oh my God. Whatever. It's wrong. So now we're going to answer questions from the chat.
Yes, I saw a couple pop in there.
Yeah, let's do it.
Everyone listening, everyone watching, now this is your time. Blow it up with all them questions. And I got the first one from Thomas Solario. And the question is, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Ninetales.
Alakazam.
Corey and I know.
Yeah. Alakazam. I just caught a shiny Alakazam or Abra for the first time ever last night. And I'm so goddamn pumped on it. So pumped.
Caitlin,
I caught
yours
two.
was,
one for my nephew, one for me.
Caitlin, yours was
Ninetales. I don't know why, but Ninetales has always been my favorite.
Omastar. Sorry. I just thought of a Poke Rap.
What about you, Tom?
Me? Favorite Pokemon. I mean, it's hard not to say Charizard, but I really love like a Mewtwo. But it's Charizard. Charizard is the guy.
That makes the most sense with you, honestly.
A basic dragon that's not a dragon. Yeah, I know. These are flying fire type Pokemon. Come on, get it together. Josh?
Yeah, that's my. I'm the same. I love Charizard. I've always loved the little dragon.
Lizardon, bro.
Oh man, I have that jacket too. The Lizardon jacket.
Lizard. Next question. Guess what? Thomas Solario again. What's the most brutal way you've ever seen a villain get dealt with?
Oh.
Disney's Tarzan.
That was pretty intense.
That's a
That's too fast.
I mean, for a kids movie, I was like,
for a kids movie, having some guy get hanged to death is pretty
intense.
Pretty, yeah.
I
I have one. All right.
Okay.
This is gonna be a tie.
Okay.
I'm gonna say. X-Men, First Class, and Magneto slowly pushing a coin through a guy's head.
oh,
Yeah.
Ugh.
yeah. Oh,
Then second one is a short film by Adi Shankar, who we've been able to interview,
Mm-hmm.
and that's called
Oh,
Dirty
yeah.
Laundry.
oh,
And where
yeah.
the antagonist gets all their bones broken on their major limbs and then gets doused with some liquor and then gets lit on fire in the middle of the street and their entire gang's gone. And I'm like, is that justice? No, it's punishment. We get it. But like, yeah, that's me. That's me. Those are two, I think, the most brutal, I think.
It would have to be brutal. Yellow Bastard.
Oh,
Sin City.
You can't even lift that cannon. Sure I can. Boom.
Yeah, it's got to be the Yellow Bastard from Sin City, and he just goes to fucking town on the dudes.
I unarm him. I take away his weapon. Both of them.
Yeah, he shoots his junk off
Ouchie.
and a bunch, like
And
a
his-
bunch.
in his hand.
Yeah, so I think that's got to be it.
That's
Just
pretty
came
good.
soaring back to me. I was like, oh man.
For a
really good.
villain, though.
Yes. That's the question.
Yeah, he's a villain.
I think I have mine. I just need to find the character's name.
The first thing that popped in my mind was, but the specificity of villain is what got me, which I guess him being dealt with this way was like kind of intense. But Pan's Labyrinth, when the guy takes the bottle and
Yes.
just smashes his face in. But I don't know, the way that they were like, we're gonna let you die, and your child will never know.
What was Josh's?
I was finding the character's name. Walter Donovan in Indiana Jones, pretty much aging to the point of non-existence.
I thought it was the Nazis
Yeah.
where they're melting.
Well, that was
is it
since I
The
had to
Last
pick
Crusade?
one. Yeah, The Last Crusade.
I think
Yeah.
I'm gonna tack on that.
That was gonna be my second one, but this melting, oof. But
Yeah.
just aging to the point of non-existence was
Yucky.
Yeah.
Pretty much getting 2020'd.
yeah.
I'm surprised no one said like Inglourious Basterds Hitler.
I
is
haven't
pretty
seen
rough,
that.
too.
Yet.
But we don't sympathize.
No, but it's true. It didn't say what's the most sympathetic.
Yeah.
I don't sympathize with Yellow Bastard, Tom, at all. Like even a little bit.
But he's a character, and Hitler in real world and in the movie world is a monster. So
I
it's
get
like
that,
yeah.
but like,
I hear- I hear.
want to say I want to go on record and say I do not relate to the Yellow Bastard from
Oh
Sin
yeah.
City.
No. It's the level of like, to me, and that's why I say like, is that justice? Where it's like there's characters who are ruthless and terrible, and for Hitler, it's like he could have gotten more in my mind.
Yes, right.
So that's why I'm like, no. So next question, 8 Hawk, 1989. Any
Nate Hawk.
fans? Is it Nate Hawk?
Yeah.
Oh yes, my bad. I didn't get that. Nate Hawk, 1989.
Silent N.
Nate.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm copying it from the chat. Any fans of Mass Effect? How about that Henry Cavill tweet?
Ooh.
I don't know about the tweet, but yes, Mass Effect's getting a remake too. The trilogy, the original trilogy, is getting a full remake. And I'm pretty pumped.
I saw the tweet, and all I'm going to say is I think Henry Cavill is not only the beacon of light of Superman, but also maybe that video game adaptations will be taken seriously. Like, if that's the case, like, you know, and that's the cool thing about Henry Cavill. He's becoming that Rock level where like Kevin Hart was and where like Zac Efron was, where like you slap their name on it, like
Then it's
it's
good.
going to be like at least
What was the
$500,000.
tweet?
He posted
For those of us who don't know,
he said it was like working on a secret project, and you could see on the side like
It was a book,
think it was
but it
like-
was blurred out. But someone used a unblur tool thing, basically, and it was a bunch of words of things from Mass Effect.
I see. I see.
So that's what that was.
Yeah, I'm a Henry Cavill fan, so I mean, I I would support anything. I haven't played Mass Effect yet, so I'll have to dip in. But I've heard nothing.
When the
but
remake comes out, just wait for the remake. Wait for the remake.
Yeah.
Wait for that remake.
I liked one tweet that I saw was like,
is it a remaster or a remake?
A remaster, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
Play
wait
Andromeda
for it.
first.
One tweet one tweet that I really liked was that you would there's a we should have it where Shepard changes actors, so you could have fem Shep and then male Shep, and then the cast act exactly normal. And I'm like, that'd be pretty cool.
No one acknowledges it episode to episode.
Yeah, because it's the character. So I'm like, that's kind of cool, and I think that's a little forward thinking. So I'm like, so
that's like taking the Wachowskis' idea from Matrix and finally bringing it to fruition.
Not like this. Next question is also from Nate Hawk, 1989, and this is a big question, and I think that we can dig in a lot for this. What advice do you have for someone wanting to get into doing a podcast, like what this is? Also, any advice for starting a gaming channel / Twitch stream?
Consistency.
That's the biggest one.
Huge.
Consistency and
transparency.
Consistency
in a sense of like,
quality as well. Not just I'm not talking about like the gear. I'm talking about the quality of the content. Making good content and focusing on making good content. And I would highly suggest your next goal is focusing on the quality of the content from a technical standpoint, because from day one of Nerd On, one of the things that several of our first reviews were the audio quality is incredible. And that was something that we really, really wanted to do. I have a lot of things that I could go into. I've been podcasting for a little over 10 years, and a lot has been learned. Reach out, and would be glad to go into a lot more detail.
Get on our Discord.
Yeah. Be happy to go into more detail.
Something specific I always want to say whenever you talk about making good content, make sure that you really enjoy what you're doing, because you're going to be doing a lot of it for a long time. And also when you're just starting out, like, maybe people don't watch for a while. Maybe people aren't there. So if you're not having a good time with what you're doing, then why do it? Why make yourself unhappy? So just do what makes you happy. And if that resonates with other people, they'll come in, and that's good content.
Yeah. It translates really well. And with the stream in particular, don't leave dead air unless you let them know that like you're going to the restroom or something like that. Like a lot of people I see who ask like, what do I do when no one's there and I don't have anything to say? It's like, just keep talking. Like that's literally why people are there. Is they can watch any game on the internet, but they're going to be there for you. And unless you add value of like, I do the best speed run, or I do the most beautiful Animal Crossing house. But if you have a perspective and you can add value to other people's day of why they want to watch, then there's that. And with podcasting, always learn, always try to find ways to be better and grow. And if you think that you're content, try to punch the ceiling even more. Because complacency will bite you in the ass.
Yep.
But yeah, any technical kind of stuff, get on that Discord, tag Josh, tag us.
Yeah.
We'll be glad to talk about it. I see one more question we have.
Yeah, we have one more question. There's one more question. If we have any more time after, we'll do one more, but I think this might be it. But this question comes from Avatar Tyke.
Hey.
Nate, that's Nate.
Another Nate. What Saturday morning could you... What Saturday
Probably
morning...
cartoon.
Could you rewatch all of?
Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh, man. What?
Jackie Chan Adventures. Oh my gosh, I can watch that forever.
Good.
Gargoyles.
I used to watch this. I have been rewatching Gargoyles.
Oh, nice.
Have been. Gargoyles was a great one. I mean, Batman the animated series is probably up there
During the syndication?
Either Batman the animated series, or X-Men animated. Oh, yeah. Those are my two. Those are my choices.
I can't say Batman Beyond because that was a 4 p.m. WB block.
Oh, were those were probably both also.
Batman the animated series first came out on Fox at 4 p.m.
Okay, then never mind.
So what I'm going to say, my answer is going to be, it's interesting. It's Yu-Gi-Oh. You would think maybe Pokemon, but it's probably Yu-Gi-Oh, the first series. It enthralled me, and I've rewatched episodes, and it still gets me because it has a dumb procedural, but also just like the acting is just like wild and out there. Where Pokemon, there are a lot of episodes where like I don't care. You're in a hospital, and all the Pokemon don't know what they're doing. Like this is a filler episode. This in Yu-Gi-Oh, every battle at least like shows you a cool new Pokemon or a new Yu-Gi-Oh card. And then there's like a battle, or at least part 2, and someone does some kind of dumb plot device thing. Where in Pokemon, it's like, hey, look, it's a Chansey again. It's like, I don't care.
But it's Chansey.
Like, give me a Lugia. Give me the legendaries. And my game, I've beaten you twice.
To that song.
No, they never do.
X-Men was a Saturday morning cartoon, so I'll stick with that. X-Men animated series is for sure my answer on that one.
I'm pretty sure I remember watching a little bit of it. This is probably after it's screened, but it was like right before school, and it was like at 6, and I was like, I gotta watch like a little bit and then go. So yeah, that's it.
Nice.
I think with that, there's no more questions. I think that's it.
Yeah.
That has been this week's Nerd On Update. Everybody at home, thank you for listening or watching if you are live on Twitch or on YouTube. We have been posting these episodes on YouTube, so check that out.
Wednesdays, we post them.
Yep. If you are new to Nerd On, welcome. Bienvenue.
Hello.
Glad to have you here. Check out our website, nerdon.tv. It has all of the information and all of the links for everything that we do. We do a lot. Our podcasts are everywhere, from Apple to Spotify to iHeart to Google Pod. They're everywhere. Check them out. Stop by, rate, review, share with your friends, your family, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you so much. We appreciate you all. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time. You know the drill. As always,
Nerd on.
Nerd on.
Nerd on.